Hi, Bevelyn.
Hi, Ignatius.
Excited and also a little bit confused why we are doing this. So we are background is we are doing a podcast,
Hmm.
and this is something very unfamiliar with us both. And But we decided we want to give it a try, right?
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit about the why behind why we want to give this a try. Um, we have done the social media posts and engagement has been good. These are like bite sizes, stories of emotions and talking about emotions and how to weave that into our day to day language, right? But we haven't quite gone into a coaching session or in a real life situation. So we decided that a podcast would be one of the ways to do so. But of course, we are novices in this area, beginners in this sense. We would hope for your support and charity. So if you like to give us a support, please like, subscribe, comment in the comment section below. And we really, really thank you for being loyal members of our This Feeling Human community. So, Bethlehem, how are you feeling today?
Well, a little bit nervous.
I,
Yeah.
I'm, I'm feeling the same. You want to shake the jitters off? Like, give it a good stretch. I'm
Yeah.
going to start with my. Whoa, I'm going to just shake it off. So, yeah, and maybe we can start with a couple of deep breaths. Okay, centering ourselves just by feeling ourselves on the surfaces that we are lying against. Yeah, and that nervous excitement is also giving me some energy. Do you feel that energy, Beverly?
Start off.
At least this nervous energy is making me smile and laugh
Yeah.
just to feel the void, right? Of embarrassment and perhaps shame as well. Um, we are starting off if you notice with that nervousness,
Hmm.
and then we also introduce a little bit of regulation and some other emotions that are associated with or at least my nervousness, my nerve wracking experience right now in front of camera. And that is a feeling of shame, embarrassment. And
Hmm.
then that also points to a need, right?
Hmm.
A personal need that is strong for me. I feel safe when I'm accepted. So a need for social connection and acceptance is strong. So, in our little introduction, this is
Yeah.
the language of emotions, and this is points us to our needs. So, Bevelyn, over to you. Can you let me know uh, if business is now settling down for you, and are we good to proceed on?
Well, a little bit nervous, but yeah, let's get to it.
Okay, okay, let's do it. So, Bevelyn, you're gonna plow through, and thank you. If you can, at this point in time, do send some words of encouragement to us, Bevelyn and myself. And we have done this. Uh, we've done various videos and social media posts, but we have never done this before. It's our first time. Um, Okay, so I've given you a glimpse of what it means to talk about the language of emotions and how that points to our needs, and attuning to those needs would help us to know that, hey, okay, I'm aware that there's a need arising right now. Before I become dysregulated, how can I meet those needs, preferably through my own efforts in things that I have control over? And if not, then actually where else externally can I get those needs met? So at least that sense of awareness is being brought forward to our attention. So we have one volunteer, a very brave and also a kindred spirit, isn't it, Bevelyn?
Yeah. She's so
Yeah.
brave. Uh, to let us cover her, story, the emotions of.
But also, so her story is we're gonna have to help create that feel of safety. And we won't be talking too much into the details, but by and large, this lady, brave young woman, has been uh, journeying through life pretty much on her own since young, and that has developed a strong sense of self, a strong will, and a strong sense of I can get this done. And what has supported her through the many challenges in her life um, was her faith, her religion, her God, whom she could pour out and really seek uh, a quiet repose and some comfort there. By and large, she has been on her own. And so there is also a sense of abandonment, which even as a grown up now, as an adult, she feels that blame and that shame. And we earlier talked about that nervousness, right? About my own shame and embarrassment about this podcast. Now, on a deeper level, that shame and embarrassment and the self blame, they're quite associated, tends to arise in difficult moments when she has relational problems. And those relational problems will lead her to think, was I not good enough? What fault occurred? What fault did I do? What wrong did I do? Now, it could also perpetuate into a what wrong did I do to a I am wrong. In other words, I'm bad. So for us not to get into that train wreck of thoughts, that thought pattern, in our interaction with this lady, we steered back by starting in a strong sense of self and to find support. So our way of finding that support was we understood that she had a strong faith in God who would be with her in times of distress. And we have also learned that there's that strength, that inner strength in her that comes actually true because of, it's not a good thing, but because of the circumstances she was dealt with, she has also grown in strength from strength to strength. So recognizing that inner strength and giving her back that confidence, right? We are providing a different perspective and essentially hitching on a different train ride. And that train ride is towards a train ride of uncovering your strengths, your capabilities, and your inner wisdom, despite and in spite of the, the situation that you are in. Now, how do we do that? We brought her into a state where she could anchor firstly through regulation, which is also what we did earlier, briefly, just breathing in, being aware of our environment, where our skin is pressing on a different surface. Allow herself to feel peak in the past, where she felt very proud of herself for all the work that she did. So growing this identity, which has brought her through. And we're going to talk about the identity after that. Yeah. But when that identity breaks down, there's the inner desire, which was actually the goal that she wanted to work with us on coaching, right, Evelyn?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I recall, can you help me see if I got the goal correct? She wanted sense of blame and guilt. She did not want to feel so sad
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
it was
You
abandoned in a youth, in a
yeah.
childhood.
You really nailed it, Ignatius. the things that you have said earlier, that's where, the one that she's feeling for a long time. But that day, with your coaching, it helps her a lot.
I try, um, and I may fail, but let's. I'm telling myself that I'm putting someone has sacrificed and being vulnerable to and uh, and to want to seek healing. I'll just be my authentic self and try as best. Um, in coaching, we are not helping a person, so to speak, by directing what to do. That is the work of a therapist. The coach relies on the client's own understanding, assuming that the client is fully capable of resolving her situations on her own. And in this case, is by reflecting questions back at her, we came to a conclusion, right? That it wasn't so much of the season to move the sadness away, but it was to find a balance between having some joy in her life right now, especially as an adult. So what we talked about was growing up, she could still play. She could still experience that as a child. Even though it was difficult, there were moments where she say climb a tree?
Yeah. Yeah, that's where
Yeah.
her one
So
of her
unfortunately,
favorite.
yeah, that was the favorite, right? So we can't climb a tree today because we did check if there's a tree in a garden or near where she lives.
Yeah.
So there isn't one. Probably a city girl. But uh, we we had a good resolution in spending time by bringing that little girl out into the present moment in her adult state. She can still experience the joy as she had as she was a girl. And one of the things that uh, could anchor her in that joy was food. Now, in the Philippines, is there a very strong food culture? Where I am, we love our food.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is food like thing that brings people together?
Yeah, the adobo, the pancit.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we love to eat in Singapore. Uh, most of my joyful moments in my childhood was over meals, right?
Yeah.
So quite like her, similarly. And she found her favorite dessert, ice cream.
Yeah.
And that would be her pick me up when at moment where she felt sad, blue, and then that would possibly have escalated down the train wreck situation of feeling the blame and guilt and all that and embarrassment about herself. So bringing that balance in was an outcome that was discovered during the coaching. And I wanted to talk about identity. So later on in this part of the podcast, we will have a snippet. Actually, the final section of after coaching, her reflections there, and our reflection, you and me.
Mhm.
Um, but what I wanted to mention in the front part of this podcast was we tend to cling to our identity, but there are also many a sense of imagine someone growing up, battled down, worn down, bruised, uh, but still standing today strong. Such a person has a wall of armor, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to want to move out of that. It's what keeps us safe. So when she started with wanting to move through, it's very hard to let go because it is easier to remain that strong, resolute woman than to be vulnerable, to explore, and to move away that sadness, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it is also a time to consider a season if you are also going through, if anyone here is going through a similar situation, what season is this? Are we ready to consider the other parts of us that are screaming for attention, for healing, for example? But in this case, perhaps the healing journey is one of first to balance out, to have regulated lifestyles. So building skills of emotional regulation, finding the joy, learning to keep and hold the joy, building support structures around before peeling the onion layers of the onion, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it really depends. One way to help is the power of emotions. If you name it, you kind of understand what's going on, you see what need is surfacing, and at moments where this strong young lady, we haven't yet quite introduced her, but this strong young lady is feeling down, then at least she's now aware that there's a need to love herself.
Yeah.
And one of the way is to be good to that little child in her, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To take care of
Absolutely.
that part. Fantastic. And we are so glad it was a outcome. Bevelyn, you just heard news that the strategies for coping works well with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And back to the identity. So we did a little NLP exercise that was improvised, that shortened version of uh, an activity called Brain Switch. What was happening, and there is a Brain Switch 2.0 by a wonderful the Joaquin Lee, based in Singapore. He's created a protocol called Brain Switch 2.0. Check it out on Google. It's available. It's a book. The book is available. You can search for it now. So when we are overwhelmed with emotions, that's another thing that we are unable to really process them, stuck in her head and also in her heart, or was it her throat or chest area in her heart? And we use that technique to move where, so the experience or the feeling tends to reside in a part of of your body. And we try to ask through regulation, through breathing, if we could move it, just moving it around to see how she felt. And initially, she wasn't able to move past where it was, wasn't it? She wasn't
Yeah.
able to pass the midline in her head to the other side of her head, from the right to the left. And that is a sign that there is some resistance and clinging on to the protector identities in her. And that identity was that strong warrior in her, right?
Yeah.
I don't, I, I don't want to rely on anybody. Um, and I've been good all my life alone. I can be strong for myself, and that keeps me safe, right? The cue for safety. Yet there's that part that longs to connect with the vulnerability so that you can have more wholesome relationships and so on. And we couldn't move past that. And what we could eventually do was to move past. Yeah. What struck me the moment she said, "Oh, I moved it past and I feel so much better right now." And
Yeah.
she opened up a beaming smile.
Yeah.
That moved me. Do you notice when that happened, Bevelyn?
Well, it was the second part. The first time that she tried it, she could not move it. She said uh the image of her head, it was stuck here.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. She feel that. And after the second try, she could move it on the left side.
And that part is the internal checking in to
Yeah.
see whether there's what season is it? Do we go for the jugular, like, wow, go all the way, let's move out entirely all our negative emotions? Or do we agree with that little girl in her, with that little uh, yearning, desire to be
Yeah.
vulnerable, and they kind of came to an agreement and
Yeah.
says, okay, let's move a little bit. Let's move a little bit so everyone's happy,
Yeah.
right? And we could find some balance and joy. So again, what season is this? And I'm so super glad for her. And we're gonna introduce her shortly in the video that we patched in, which was a previous coaching session, the last part of it, after it actually ended for reflections. Now, here's a little pause because a shout out to all Filipinos out there. Um, we are gonna have our entirely for the Filipino community, isn't it, Beverly?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited again, nervous and a little bit confused yet again because here I am. I'm from a different part of the world, different culture. I'm not sure how we can do this, but we are gonna do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking for your support, encouragement. If you are interested to join this, um, please give us a comment, and we will message you back with our registration link. So it's when is it happening, Beverly?
Uh, it will be
Is it 10 days from today?
yeah, July 28th.
28th of July.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it will be 8:45 a.m. next Monday. Not this next Monday, July 28th, 8:45 a.m.
Yeah.
Can
So
can I speak in Tagalog? For
oh yeah, sure,
yeah,
sure.
sure. Sa lahat ng Filipino na nanonood nito, uh, I am inviting you to try this out. And I can vouch for myself. I can guarantee that it will help you from from a perspective. 3 years ago, mm, the Vevelin 3 years ago was not like this now. So if you are interested to join and wanted to know more, pwede nyo kami i-message sa This Feeling Human, or you can look me up in the Google or in the platforms that we are in. And I can vouch, I can guarantee na this will help you not just for your uh, personal, but for your work also. Thank you.
Okay, so what exactly this is like what we first open up with is the using of our emotions into our day-to-day conversations so that we can uncover the needs. And we have a framework of how we can allow the emotions to turn into useful wisdom, information to let us know what our needs are being met and unmet and what we can do about it. But the first step is understanding how we experience the emotion in our body, how it is in our nervous system, whether or not we are hypervigilant or hypersensitive to cues of safety and cues of unsafeness. So when we are able to understand where we are physiologically, um, energy level wise, how wired up our nervous system is to threat detection, um, and just how we are normally as a beast because we tend to brood over or repress or keep it in, or are we letting it out vocally? And bodily reactions, for example, what are the situations that trigger us? So we are going to cover a framework for all of that so that we can gain an awareness, how we can build in emotional literacy. using words of emotions into our language, our conversations with ourselves and others, so that we can understand what's going on in our body, in our world around us. We can give it some form of manifestation so that we can understand, hey, is this emotional experience trying to tell me? It's so important. How does it help you in your work? Well, it helps me in my work, not just because that's what I do, but it helps me understand what the season is and what my priorities are at work right now. It also helps me understand potentially what is the other person I'm working with feeling and experiencing right now so that I can calibrate my decisions. It also brings a balanced view, not just using logic, what is good for the bottom line, what is efficient, what's more productive, but it also allows me to understand, why am I asking for efficiency? I'm feeling impatient right now. What am I impatient about? This need to succeed has been 3 years in the making, and I still think I'm a failure. Oh, wow. Okay. So that's not a business decision. That's just me being impatient, right? So if I can deal with that, work on that, and also work on this task at hand, okay? Like, why does the podcast need to be done by a certain date? Why can't we just do it like, or never do it at all, right? So these are decisions that we make, sometimes using our head, sometimes using our emotions, so-called using our heart and our gut. But at the end of the day, wouldn't it be nice if we could bring in all these pieces of signals so that we can come to a more resolved kind of a decision where we are aligned internally? Remember, I said all those parts, where all those parts are kind of negotiating and are happy. The warrior says, "Okay, let's go," and the little girl said, "No, I'm afraid." Right? So that little boy in me now saying, "Oh, I'm a little bit afraid of the podcast." So sense check. Are you still nervous, Madeline?
No.
No, we kind of like move through
Yeah,
this, right?
yeah.
So we came to an agreement in our internal systems, and then and then we said, okay, let's move. Let's move, but gentle steps. So yeah, to those in the Philippines, I'm so actually very thankful. We have always struggled with, are we connecting to the right audience? Just yesterday, Beverly and I, we were talking about it. Are we connecting to the right audience? And I struggled with that until this great acceptance came. We have quite a substantial Filipino community within our This Feeling community, This Feeling human community. And we just thought, hey, let's give it a shot. Why not just uh, let nature take its course, and let's do something for our community based on uh, that particular pocket of our community, right? And then we'll also do something for the main community as well, which we have been doing. But over time, it's good to reach out in various forms, as wide an audience as possible. So thank you. If you think that this is going to be helpful for you, please feel free to join in. If you don't feel comfortable, you're not from Philippines, you don't speak the language, you don't understand the culture, just like me, listen in. Just dial in to listen, if you like. And also, we do run other webinars on a month-to-month basis as well. So without further ado, oh yeah, sorry, comment, comment. Uh, Let us know that you're interested in it. We'll figure a way out to send you the link. We'll also probably paste the registration link in the comment below as well. So if you like to, you can just register on your own. Um, yeah, and we're gonna patch in the final part of the coaching with Alana. And yeah, so she has volunteered her time so that her message can resonate with those who are out there struggling alone, facing all sorts of obstacles and struggles. And she has struggled well. And that message at the end of the day was, she said, well, I'll leave it to her to say that, to have faith, essentially, and also to have a little bit of balance. And we don't need to do too much to find that joy, isn't it? So let's cut into the coaching with Alana. It's nearing our end of the coaching. I just wanted to ask from a lens of reflection, how was the experience for you? You can speak it in your local language, and Bevelyn can help to translate for us, or you can give it a try. Yeah.
How was your experience?
Na-express na ko. Yung sarili. Although dili siya fully, pero na-express na akong gamay na burdens.
She said it's good, and uh, she expressed herself a little bit, and those little burdens on her shoulder has been lifted a bit.
What changed for you? How do you manage to lift those burdens?
What change? Um,
Yeah.
Tumuyang-ingon nga about sa life, I enjoy life, joyful life instead of music ko, love na.
Yeah,
Basta, una ko na-remember sa inyo.
yeah. Uh, she said that when you mentioned about that, to enjoy life joyfully, playfully, just like when you were a child, bring that child into the now.
And I just wanted to mention that that child is not just that playful child, because we spoke about it earlier during the coaching. And that child was also a very resourceful, very early on, had to work and in order to study, right? In order to save up for food and all that. And yet, this child was able to experience this joyfulness, wasn't it? Yeah. How would you take your learning? It's morning where we are. So it is, oh, okay. It's nearly going into the afternoon. So you have half a day more, second half of today, to really apply it in your life.
Kasi saan daw nimo pag-apply ang imong mga na-learn sa iyang for the remaining day, half day, di ba? So, saan mo siya pag-apply? Saan siya pag-apply? Think pasili, ang mga learnings na sa iya. Yung mga natunan. Uh, Iyan naman ko siya. Apply na ko as positive way and courage and enjoy the life. Mm.
Yeah, I'm not letting you go so easy. Think of one example that you can do today that would bring in all these enjoyment, courage, positive thinking into one activity that you're gonna do today, or into one uh, being, being fun, being playful, one situation where you can just be that little chunk. Wow. What was your favorite flavor? Vanilla, wow, fantastic. Okay. And remember how you used to eat the ice cream as a child? Would you do the same?
Yeah.
I don't know about you. My favorite is the soft serve cone ice cream. And I would go when I was young, I would go like, I would just lick the whole thing. And then I'll gobble at the top. So that's what I do as thank you. Thanks very much, Alona. Now, for those of you who have online, who have found it quite puzzling why we have gone through towards the end of the coaching and only for them to, for us now to share, it's really because Alona has gone through quite a number of struggles and it's our first session. What we managed to achieve was instead of focusing on the pain and the hurt and the being alone and also the unmet need. So we talk about needs, the unmet needs of having um, the need for love and connection, which is very strong. It's an important need because we are all human beings. We were meant to live in community, have social structures of support. And when we focus too much on all these, we forgot to focus also on what balances out these unmet needs or how we can meet those unmet needs by ourselves. And in this case, we can start to love ourselves for ourselves, relying only on ourselves. And that is a good start. And one way for us today was to use the childhood experience to bring that child into today, that resilient child who knew how to be present to joy despite the difficulties. Bring that into modern day adulthood. As adults, we don't often play and let loose like children do. We're not immersed into that joy. But as children, we do. And by bringing that child into our daily lives, we can bring up that joy and celebrate and experience the joy. Another situation that currently commonly occurs is the inability to hold the joy, to experience it fully. And it's something just in the head, oh, I felt joy, I felt good, it was satisfactory, and that was that. It became another doing. Oh, I ate ice cream, right? But when we use to eat the ice cream together with us, the experience is transformed. A very small act. So I would like to thank you, Alona, for sharing and our conversation earlier. And without going into details much, some people in your country, in the Philippines, or on our social media community, who may have experienced what you have experienced, being alone in your childhood and being able to survive because of those challenges, but you were primarily on your own. Yes, you could rely also your spiritual life, your belief, your religion. You could rely on God to be with you through all these challenges. And later on, you develop some relationships that could care and provide for you at the same time. But by and large, the journey was alone, right? So for those people, the journey was similar in some ways to yours. Not exactly, but who may relate to your situation. What would be one message of hope that you would like to give? You can say in Tagalog for your local Filipinos, and maybe Beverlyn can also say it in English, or you can supplement us with the English version.
to those people experience the same for me. Um, think that naara ang Ginoo for me. Um, ngayon ang kagay. And praise, pray everything na dili nimo siya ma-explain pero God knows everything na struggle na mga agian. And then put courage in yourself na kaya nimo alone or kaya nimo na survive ang kanang struggle na imo na agian. Take courage. Take a rest.
Yeah, she said, always pray to God.
Thank you for sharing. This is an important message because to many people, just being able to even watch this is a sign of hope already and a demonstration of that resilience, the resourcefulness, given the struggles and given all of the situations that they are in. To have that courage to continue on daily living is an act of courage, an act of hope already. It's important because, and we've stressed this quite a few times, an unmet need is appearing in a situation, a life experience, and we don't feel good about it. There's also secondary thoughts, judgments, and then the emotions and the whole experience of it physiologically as well. And that would lead us to forming secondary beliefs about self blame, for example, guilt, shame, envy. How come I have all these and I don't? And that could, for example, um, and where we can't articulate it, it's anger, frustration, um, or impatient, desire something more. And if we don't get that, there's even yet another layer, which is a cycle, right? If you can see, then if I don't get it, if I don't meet my core needs of survival, of love and connection, then I will feel a certain way and act a certain way and think a certain way, which brings another set of feelings, thoughts, and action to it. And it keeps spiraling. And many accumulated experiences form a belief system that's wired in our brains. And our brain will then scan for situations that may feel unsafe to us and will respond and react in a way given self is a struggle, as Alona had said. And that in itself, being able to be present with the challenges to struggle through is a sign of hope already. And if you're listening to this, chances are there's a desire for you to wish differently. I hope this doesn't breed impatience. Just be able to allow that desire to remain while being fully present. Yes, the struggles are there because our thoughts, our desires can be quite different from how our brain has been wired given the environment that we are in and all the memories and experiences. For example, we may want to let go of hurt and pain, but letting go requires vulnerability. So it doesn't quite protect us. It was better to be the identity that I was alone, going through all these things. And I've been strong and I've come through it on my own. And yes, I wish I could have done better. I wish people would be, with me, supporting me and rallying behind me. But there's that identity there. And that identity has kept me safe, has kept me from needing to invest a little bit more to get a more love and more secure attachment to someone who is safe, that I can feel safe with. I need to first be vulnerable. So why do it? Right? So the thoughts and desires may be in conflict with our physical responses, that we are created in a way to protect ourselves from all that's out there. So thank you, Alona, for your message of hope and to take courage. Yes, I'm going to supplement that with when you can experience the joy and remember how it is like as a child. We often forget that, how it is like with a child. Being a child as a child. Um, yes, there were difficult moments and there are also joyful ones. So experience them fully if you can. Bevelyn, how about yourself? What was your learning and any message that you like to share to your uh, fellow Filipinos or to the social media community?
Always ask for guidance and be courageous. And always remember that there will be someone out there that will understand you, will embrace you as you are. Don't lose hope and embrace embrace yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, give thanks for who you are. Yeah. If we appreciate biology and our how we have evolved and how we have built, there is so much wonder and awe about just our body in terms of the number of cells that keeps us functioning, in terms of the in terms of what a vast amount of exchanges, how interconnected we are in terms of elements, just by breathing and exchanging breath with the world, for example. It's so miraculous. It's about holding the joy and appreciating all these small little things, wondrous as they are, and giving thanks, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, with that, we'll end our session. We will have another follow-up podcast where me and Bevelyn will work through that uh, that session with Alona, breaking it down in terms of structure and uh, what we went through to achieve the outcome from feeling hurt, all that pain trapped in the body, to releasing, feeling in the body free, and to remembering the moments of joy and bringing that joyful moments back into this present day. So, the next podcast episode, we will be unpacking that, and that, however, will be in a paywall, which is available on the link. It's a Buy Me a Coffee link, and our subscribers will be allowed access to all past resources. We also run workshops, so the slides are there, sessions on a monthly basis. And with that, I do hope for your support. This Healing Human is an initiative that is meant to spread the message of emotional regulation through regulating activities and emotional literacy. This is for the world. And in order to get our message to the world, we need either your to comment, to share, or your financial support, which is on the Buy Me a Coffee link. Okay, all the best in your journey. We will keep you in our prayers.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Alona, Bevelyn, may God bless you and have a good day.
Same to you.
Okay. Wow, that was quite something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that coaching with Alana, yeah, Bevelyn. So imagine if we could experience that kind of aha moments, right? And I'm suggesting that having that interior life, building that awareness of our needs through the emotions that we experience is important. And this is an opportunity to get those aha moments out there. We talk about making better decisions. We talk about understanding what season is it, right? We talk about the different parts of us that could be in conflict but can align, right? So the shift is happening in Philippines, right?
Yeah, it's happening.
Okay, we're gonna shift our perspective to an understanding of many emotions that we feel in our body, in our thoughts, in our words that we express, in the actions that we demonstrate, and also that is kind of like underneath our conscious awareness. So those that are triggered by past memories through our nervous system activation. So join us, Beverly. You'll be leading the show, isn't it?
Yeah, I will be kind and MC. So
Okay. So um, yeah, come and see. That's what Beverly says. You, if you have not known Beverly, she has been with us at this Feeling Human from day one, and she has been this warrior. This really, uh, she's in her purpose right now, right?
yeah, and
Yeah,
to tell you the truth, Ignatius, this feeling human has helped me a lot, personal and work also.
fantastic. If there's one message that you want your Filipino audience, it can be in Tagalog or in English, up to you. What would it be so that we can recruit them for when is it? The 28th of July in the morning, 8:45,
8:45.
Monday morning.
Yeah, Monday morning. So,
Yeah.
sa mga kapwa ko Filipino out there na you may think that you won't need this kind of webinar or workshop. But for me, personally, na-try ko siya and then I personally experience yung transformation niya. 3 years ago, I was not this kind of person. Uh, the me before ay hindi masyadong open, laging nagagalit. The angry person, easy to take. But right now, I came to my sense. Thank thank you for this feeling human. Because of this, I opened myself to my family, to my friends, because I kind of built a wall around me before 3 years ago. I was kind of person that I am okay. I'm fine. It's okay. It's all right. Nothing's wrong with me. That was me. That was me. And then boom, when I was working with Ignatius under this feeling human, doon ko I realize na may mali pala. Na kailangan ko pala. Bakit pala ako laging nagagalit? Why I am always getting angry? Why would a little bit of things and it would tick me and boom. That's where the part that I understand, you know, na try kong uh, ma-understand yung sarili ko. That's where I started to understand myself, being aware, my needs, and yung mga nangyayari sa paligid ko. If you are interested, no, let's rephrase that. Kapag ikaw, Filipino, especially sa mga moms and a daughter, feeling mo yung buhay mo or yung life mo, yung para bang paulit-ulit na lang na cycle. Gigising ka and then gagawin mo ulit yung mga day-to-day lives mo, pero parang feeling mo sa loob, yung para bang may kulang, yun. If, nasa sitwasyon ka or nasa phase ka ngayon na, "Ano bang mali? What's wrong with me?" Then, this workshop, this webinar is for you. Try it and you will not regret it, just like me.
Okay, thank you. And if you're wondering what's wrong with either of us, we're now just pretty happy laughing about what's wrong with us. But if it ticks you off, yeah, how about slight reframe? Um, yeah, and it's really about understanding what could be better, isn't it? Yeah, what
Yeah.
could be more complete? Yeah, and what needs to what message needs to come up for you so that you can start this journey. It's not going to help you one session. It's not going to help
Yeah.
you fully recover, heal, or whatever you want to look out for, you desire. But it's going to open a door, and the opening of the door is going to invite you into what I call a rich inner world within you. Right. So welcome to the world within you. And welcome to this safe space and community where we could catch up online in our socials or we could meet and interact in a deeper way. And the shift is one of the ways that we connect deeper. This is a mission for both of us. We are on purpose to build and develop a strong community so that everyone can go ahead and talk and share about their stories, about their emotions. Okay, so we need your support, be it in your like, subscribe, comment, so that uh, whatever social channels, YouTube, TikTok, they will pick up more of what we are saying so that the message can spread. If you like to support us financially, and this is contribute what you can, and sometimes financially, we do have uh, a journey of putting our resources into a link, a buy me a coffee, where we would put in all these content, our webinars, our slides into that page. So subscribe to that. And we also have coaching sessions that we can do one-to-one with you. And if you like to, it's available at buymeacoffee.com. Okay. So see you